Hey all, well, I'm on a Cup 24 ARCA series run, fifth or sixth or seventh or whatever race it is at Auto Club, because Heat 5 will not save my career mode deal, so no career mode. We'll have to stick to ARCA on Heat 5, and Heat 4 career was 500 laps at Bristol Cup, and I'm not really up to that yet, so we'll do this, or however many laps this is. 50 laps. We got 44 laps in the tank. We will not be saving today. If I save, it's like a sure win against the AI. And I prefer racing, even though I can save. Well, it's a little less slidey. Much better. A couple miles an hour I don't want to. See if we can dial it in during the race. But the good news is I think we're faster than them here. Maybe just. How it works, runs out. Where we're gaining on us, probably the turns. I'm experimenting with the line. Through that time. And a couple tenths there, I believe. 3 tenths. Okay. So we're faster at the beginning of the run. 47 laps. 41 in the tank. I'm letting it slide up. You know, I'm driving it up here, so I want to keep the speed up. It's running a little bit on the loose side, but it's ass hanging out loose, which is decent, but I am sliding up here, so it might be too loose. But it's pretty balanced. That's not slow. Both right sides are hot. That's kind of normal at the beginning of a run, and you know, this is times 1 and we're only 6 laps in. But I'm thinking maybe I could go a different way. Because it's sliding a lot. That's a 4-wheel slide. They do that in real life, but in SimWorld, we can do better in real life. Bogging down off the turns now. Still not slow. Oop, at the curb. Feet. Real out of shape. Turning really good though, but that. slidey is going to hurt later on. practicing getting under somebody going middle or low. It's not bad, but I know there's more speed there. I just gotta get this balance right. I mean, it's balanced for this shit, but it's not I lost maneuverability. That means in traffic, it's gonna be much harder to drive. And it's not faster. My old setup, I could pretty much go 39 fours for the first like 20 laps in times 2 or less. But that's also online and multiplayer, which you tend to get about a 2/10 boost with online lobby, especially when you got more than 10 cars on the track. That's where, you know, those times came from. That 38.5 was the last cup race the last Gen 6 cup race I won here. The old car, this car. But I have hit a 38.7 on my own. You know, single run, no draft. No draft help. Normal draft on. Well, we are faster than these guys, which is good. Auto Club tends to be one of the tracks that were slower. But I've been faster than these guys for a while. So now we're showing just a little bit tight. I think I know the next set of adjustments I'll do is I'll tighten up the tire stagger. In other words, I'll lower the right side tire pressures as they're near 60. And I will up the track bars as I lower the track bars. So I'll just switch around how I tighten up the car. And see if I can get that maneuverability back and maintain, you know, or gain the speed I'm losing here. See here? See, this is, you don't, off of turn 3 and 4, you don't want to be slower in a cup car, in an old cup car. You don't want to be slower than 173 off the turn 3 and 4. Here it's 170 because this side of the track tends to drive as a flatter than the other side, even though they have the same banking. See that 175 that we hit in the middle, you should be able to maintain and then increase. Instead it dips down and then it comes back up. Little bit there that's costing us a little. But that might be a 1/10 or 2 a lap. Oh, hitting the curve doesn't help. And a 1/10 or 2 a lap, you know, man, I got beat by a guy that was only a 1/10 faster than me. And he was only a 1/10 faster the last half of the run. You know, he's running, you know, 30 laps. And, you know, 15 laps, you're on his tail, and then he just slowly starts pulling away after halfway. And not a goddamn thing you can do about it if you don't have help. I'm also searching for a good line to run here. Sometimes that wakes up the setup. So I'm not slow, you know, off the turns. I'm hitting 180, which is awesome. But I feel I'm losing it here. See, there it goes down when I hit the gas. Some people say, oh, just up the gear. Yeah, but I up the gear, then I change the way I have to race the car. Because I use more gas that way. So it's not a simple thing. Yes, you probably can get away with doing that, but it'll also make it looser. And being looser might actually make that dip more, because as you get back into the gas, you might start spinning the right rear about, where am I? Yeah, about now, and make what you're experiencing worse. So before I changed my gearing, which took years to, you know, to get to this point, what I wanted to do, I'll work on the other adjustments. See, it's slowing down, 171. 17 laps in. That's about a third of the way through the run. See how it kind of like, I can hug the white line and the rear end kind of stays out? See, that's good. 1% tight is not bad. With a track like this, it seems to be okay. If it's just like 1% or 2%. Yeah, it bogs down. I wasn't looking because I started to slide, but I might actually be spinning the right rear and it's causing me to slide up. Being a little bit too loose. Did not there. Why am I not holding it down off the turns? Because you pinch the car, you lose speed. You need more engine power to go faster. If you follow the line that the car's setup wants, and also exit in the high lane, because the game is, you know, skewed that way, you have that bonus exiting in the high lane. And you're faster down the straightaways. You're faster down the straightaways. These are long straightaways, so that's actual speed and time that you're gaining. Coming off at 180, I got some draft help. Tug up front. Pull down. Tires are warm, so I'm letting off a little bit earlier. You know, overall, as a race setup, it's not bad. It's just not a, what I think of as like a hugger-mugger race setup. You know, to go, as so many of these races are, you know, end in a pack, and you need much more maneuverability to not, you know, wreck everybody all the time. Well, it's not bad. I guess we'll deal with it. But not everybody can deal with it like, you know, I can deal with it. So I'm trying to normalize it, as it were. Plus, the easier a setup is to drive, the more you can do. You know, the less you're worried about wrecking yourself, the more you can race. And I love racing. I'm not really a big fan of hanging on, even when I'm winning a race. Well, I'll do it to win. I'm running a very deliberate line there for max speed off. I've been looking what I've been hitting at the end of the wall, so a couple miles an hour slower. Yeah, I don't know if you heard it, but when I stomped on the gas, the wheel spun. We're fast, so this is fast enough to win against championship mode AI. Gotta be careful not to let it slide into the wall when you do that. It got me a bigger boost off the turn. Oops. It's just a little handling, tick too much on the loose side. I think when I pit, I'll take a half a pound out of the right side. If I take tires. I mean, the way this tire wear is, I got, 50% on the right. And we're 25 laps in at 19 in the tank. And the winning move might be just to not take tires. In which case, I can add a click or two of wedge. 2 clicks of wedge, probably. Yeah, it's funny, around Vegas the other day, and I was in a similar situation, a few laps short of having a pit, and I never thought of not taking tires for some reason, and I could have. That might have, because I was behind, because I was way too loose. See, this is loose, but it's just like, it's annoying and maneuverability loose. But since I'm in the lead and only have to deal with slower lap cars, I have to race anybody, so it makes my weakness unexploitable unless I screw myself up. The right front needs a little something anyway. If I lower the tire pressure on the right, that'll help it. It's too bubbly. I'd be careful because they start drifting up in the middle of the turn. AI, I think, are running like 39.9, at least the second place stuff. I hit a 40 flat, and they pulled up a 10% on me. $39.7, $39.8. That's good for this part of the run here. I had to drive that. Now, if you're not going to take tires, you definitely got to up the wedge, because most tracks, just the apron is so slippery on old tires that you'll just spin yourself out right off pit road when you hit the gas. Shift up quick. So whatever you gain by not taking tires, you can quickly lose by spinning out, you know, exiting. And you tend to be a lot looser because the tires heat cycle, so they become slicker. Just sitting in the pits for, you know, coming down off top speed, they cool off, and it's called a heat cycle. And now you gotta get them hot again, but they are really ungrippy for the first few laps, and this game does a fair job of recreating that. So adding some wedge, especially if you're running a looser setup or a setup that's driving loose. If you take 2 tires, I recommend 4 clicks of wedge. Maybe 4 clicks of wedge for 4 tires. It depends. You have to practice it. But my standard without practice is 4 clicks. You can still drive it. Because if you're not taking tires, you're not racing anybody. If you're racing somebody and you don't take tires, don't not take tires. But, you know, like here, I got this lead, right? We all got a pit. I don't have to do anything. I can take 4 tires. But this is T5, so they might only take 2 tires. And they are faster on 2 tires than we are faster on 2 tires, even with better setup. So there's a danger there, which makes it, you know, interesting. You know, it actually makes the AI a bit harder in some ways. Not most ways, just in a few ways. And that sometimes is one of them. So you don't want to be caught short, you know, and lose because you spun out. Or you can't drive the car because it's way too loose. Because if you notice, I am running a little bit hotter on the right rear, so it's going to be loose. And it's been handling loose the whole run. There, over-rotating just a tick. I didn't have to correct for it. It corrected itself because it's right on the edge. Now, something I just noticed is here we're down at the end of the run, and I'm still running 230s on the left front. The 212, 208 on the left rear is actually okay, but usually the left sides are down to 200 at this point. That's what I would like them to be here. That shows that they're still working very hard. It kind of shows that it's actually, in some ways, it's a little bit tight in some parts. Probably why I got all wiggly wobbly there. Because it wasn't a loose wiggly wobbly. It was a setup is too tight, and you're on old tires, wibbly wobbly, so it acts loose. You see 1% tight. Yeah. The older the tires, the more these little differences in the setup mean for your handling and maneuverability. Now, if you're on a wheel, you experience all that. If you're on a controller, there's automatic driving aid settings that kick in just by plugging in a controller. So from what I understand from talking to guys on controller, they don't feel any of that. You know, which gives them an advantage because they don't think that they're gonna, you know, buy the farm in the middle of the turn when they hit the gas. They just hit the gas confidently. So it makes for a totally different experience. And yes, I do have force feedback. I change it every once in a while. I think I'm at 80% now. I might be at 70, I don't know. Somewhere up there. And I have a Logitech G923 for the latest derivation of the G9 series, of the G series line. It has direct drive on it. But it doesn't feel any different than my G27 or my G29 did, or the G920. Or no, yeah, those two. 321 was the one before this. And I had them for years. Both of them I had to give up because the force feedback crapped out. Everything else is still working. In fact, Logitech is modular, so when I have my own kind of custom built seat and sim racing setup. Well, how did I hit the brake there? I should have, but I didn't. But I thought I'd be able to get in there, but I had to get off the gas too much, and the car just got weird, which is another thing that you deal with in real life that this game does accurately reflect in certain setups. The setup is meant to be driven hard. If you drive it light, it will kill you. See, yeah, flying around. Yeah, so the Logitech series are modular. So when I got the G923, I thought it had a different, software compatibility on the brake, and I found no, it's just an extra spring. And the old G27 pedals are fine, so I just plugged them in. In fact, I didn't even get I'm still, in 2012, I believe, I got my G27, and I'm still using the G27 gear shift. I gave the G29 gear shift that came with it to my son. And you can get the gear shift separately. So you can get started by buying a lot. And the gear shift add-on to any of the Logitech is it's $59, and you just plug it in to the back of the steering wheel assembly thing. And if you don't, it still comes with paddles, which I don't even like using paddles. Okay, coming out, and so we're not looking loose, but we're running right hotter on the right rear. And I'm still running 45, even that loose. There's that 38.9 by myself. I'm not going to hit any records because it's just breaking loose at the limit because it's too loose. Okay. Did anybody start pitting yet? They should start pitting. They usually pit 2 laps before you... Oh, there they are. Yep. 2 laps. Let's see what they do here. We got a couple of quick races. It's usually 3 laps. Usually a couple guys come in lap before, and then most of the guys come in the second lap, and then everybody else comes in the 3rd lap. So I have to pit next time. See, you notice I don't lose as much in 4th gear off. So I am spinning the right rear. So if I made the gear heavier, I'd make it worse. And right about here, start hitting the brake. 45, I believe, right? Maybe it's close to 45 when you hit the line. I haven't done that in a long time. Okay, take only enough gas that you need. Here we'll take tires. Let's do this. Let's do that. So I lowered it a half, and I raised the right front a half. I know I could have just done the 1, but it's how I have it in my head. I'm gonna take 4 tires and see where we come out. It's a do or die. We either come out good or try to finish in the top 10. Now everybody who comes out in front of us pretty much when it cycles out, because there should be people pitting this time. Oh, we're in second. Okay, so we're not bad. If Joey didn't pit, we're good. If Joey pitted and took 2 tires, we should also be good. Yeah, we're catching him. He's pitting now. Maybe. Yeah. Yep. So we got this. See, we lost time still. I wonder if it's because they took 2 tires. See, it doesn't tell you. You got no recap, you know, in-depth recap or anything, but we are fast. And we're pulling out. That was a half a second or more. Oh, we're good, good. And the change seems to help. $38.8, look at that. I did that way because of the Joy. He's one of those that hugs the line and doesn't move up so you can get under him. 4 or 5 guys like that. Cool. Tricky. I was able to rotate it nicely. But if I wasn't counting on it. If I was counting on it, I would have done that a little differently. We got all this air around us. A little faster on fresh tires now. Look at that rotate. Goodbye. Okay, I'm waiting for that to happen. That's loose slide, so 5260. We can get it up to 300 in these 2 laps. That's a little too high. Wow. 270. That's much better. Still sliding though. Still balanced. Still sub 39 laps. Here it slides up right there. Oop, I'm not losing the rear really, I'm losing the side bite. And that's what she wrote. So, we just got to fine tune on it, but one hell of a nice setup. So it's going to be a short and boring replay. Yep, past start finish line, turn left, lap 1, take the lead, and then, yep, when we pit, Logano takes the lead, and we come out in second, Logano pits, we take the lead back, and that's all she wrote. 50 laps at Auto Club. Um, you know, we didn't win at Vegas, but Vegas, see, this is another good point. Vegas is a skinnier, tighter track. Auto Club, you have tons of room. So, like, you know, when you go down, see me in the turns, you go down and you got slower guys in front of you. You don't have to hit the brake. You just find another line. And when I say maneuverability at a track like this, that's what I mean is it was very hard for me to just pick another line. I couldn't just say, oh, I'm going to do this. I had to, okay, I got to do this, and I got to, like, be much more careful so I don't wreck myself and, you know, get sideways and so on and so forth. But because it's Auto Club, you have lots of, you know, runoff room, as it were. You know, I mean, if you blow the corner, Jesus. I don't know how people hit the wall here, the outside wall, when they're trying to enter low. Even if they hit the curb, there's just so much room to catch the car. But then again, if you got the wrong setup that, you know, just won't let you maneuver, won't let you save it, well, you got to start there. There's two trains of thought when it comes to setups. A lot of the big race winners in NASCAR over the years, most of them, you'll find that if they get a car comfortable driving, it tends to win more. They tend to win more. You get a car that, you know, like an engineer sets up and it's like, oh man, this will give you the fastest laps. A lot of times it's more of a qualifying setup, and it makes it very hard to race, which those of you who follow NASCAR know that since the pandemic, they severely limited practice, which, you know, the engineers today typically set the car up where they have like a setup going into the race, and it's like for years, you know, like they would set the things like the wedge and other things, and they wouldn't change them. So they tell the crew, you can change this, you change this, but don't touch certain things because that'll totally change the way the car drives. And that's extremely technical, extremely advanced, and, you know, they have, of course, data, you know, going back 40 years at like a team like Hendrick, or 20 years at Stewart-Haas, and, you know, and they'll build on that, and so they'll have the thing like 95% dialed in getting to the track, and then the rest of it typically, and I say 95, not 99, because it depends on the driver. You know, if you got a team like Joe Gibbs, you got 4 cars, right, and they all get the same setup, and they can all massage the setup, right, and they go to the individual driver tastes and styles vary, then, you know, the setup becomes a little different air pressure, maybe a little different shock, one of the corners, or, you know, all 4 corners maybe. I mean, usually not, but you never know. So that's when the car gets dialed into the individual driver. But without practice, or very limited amounts of practice, there used to be, I think, 3 to 9 hours of practice at most Cup events. And that just, including extra qualifying races and all kinds of opportunities to get your car on the track before Sunday, green flag. And today that just doesn't exist. You know, you got a lot of times it's 15 minutes practice, qualifying, and then you go racing. And 15 minutes is not enough to dial a car in. You know, it's enough to make a change, or maybe 2, but it's not enough time on track for the crew chief and the engineers to make a bunch of changes, you know, unless they already plan to do it. Like they bring one setup and they test it, and they're like, okay, so we'll go with the other setup, and then they make wholesale changes, but it's already pre-planned. If you go to the track and, you know, you don't have that kind of data, and you just have a basic generic setup, which most of the teams will just give you their basic setup, You'll be able to get around the track without wrecking, but you might not be too fast, and it might not suit your style. And 15 minutes is nowhere near enough to dial a car in, you know. So it's a tough proposition, you know, even for the top teams. So I'm a big advocate of practice. And with that said, tonight I didn't even really. I went to practice. I hit the wrong button. I went to qualifying. I made a change and started the race. And I still got to dial it in. But you know what? It's good. It was a successful night. We won the race. I see some of the changes I made did work. So you know, gonna be down with that. It'll be cool. We'll be all right. And well, thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, ask me anything, and we will see you next time. And this series will be at Texas, but I don't know what series we'll run next. But have a good night.